It's been a tough week for the activity that we all enjoy so much. Many of us who fish today have learned so much from Fred Golofaro over the years, whether reading one of his thousands of articles in the Fisherman magazine or attending one of his seminars. Fred always took the time to talk fish and never had that elitist attitude. If you were new to the sport or have been in it for many years, Fred was always there to share his knowledge with us. The Northeast has truly lost a legend.
The Fishing News is sponsored by these fine partners.
Killing the fluke at Maple Street Dock. I had over a dozen keepers Monday a.m. before dawn. 2 keepers. Sunday evening, 7 or 8, including 3 keepers to 20 inches. Last night's load, Richie and I had 8 or 9 between us. 1 keeper. All fish bites, of course. That was the last email that Fred Golofaro sent me on September 14th. And I'm at no place other than Maple Street Dock, which was somewhere where he loved to fish. It was right by his house, and he would come down here whenever he had the opportunity, spend the time doing what he loved to do, catching weak fish, fluke, whatever it was. Even snappers made him happy, just being out there fishing, because that's what Fred loved to do. And to be honest, I'm very, very grateful to have called Fred Golofaro a mentor, a friend, an inspiration, a hero in my life. Because Fred was that type of person, and in my mind, Fred was somebody that we should all strive to be towards. He was a true role model for me, and he taught me a lot, not only just in fishing. He had a vast knowledge of all types of fisheries, and not just fishing, but how to be a better person. More importantly than anything was how to be a better person, and he taught me a lot of that over my time getting to know him. And I just been thinking a lot recently, and thinking back to the last time I actually spent time with Fred in person. I would talk to him on the phone every week, but being with him in person, we were about two months ago. He calls me up and goes, "Matt, I'm going off for a ride to Montauk," because that's just where he wanted to be. He liked Montauk. That was one of his favorite places. It's an overcast, rainy day, and I said, "Why not, Fred? Any opportunity to spend time with somebody like him, wasn't going to pass it up." So he picked me up at my house, and we drove to Montauk. Even in that drive, all the stories and the wisdom and the knowledge that he had to share with me, unforgettable stuff. But the one thing that truly does stick with me is we got to Montauk, and a place where he cut his teeth in the surf casting game, and a place where he fished for many years. We got there and got down to North Bar over there, and we were fishing, casting poppers, working the whitewater. We didn't catch anything that day, but that didn't matter because we were in a place that he loved, and just being in that atmosphere, in that setting, is what made him happy. And I remember vividly standing there about 50 yards away, watching the man cast his popper into the whitewater and work it back, and he was at peace. He was happy. And that's how I'm going to remember him for the last time of seeing him.
Back in the early 90s is when I met Fred for the first time. A little intimidating at first, but you quickly realize by his gentle voice the character of the man. Photo shoots with Fred were easy. He did his thing and I did mine. But video shoots, on the other hand, were a bit more challenging. Fred was the guy who was always quietly hooked up without a meep or fanfare. I would have to constantly remind Fred, "Show me more emotion. We're shooting a video, damn it." Then the animated Fred put on a show for the next 30 seconds. Well, not really, but that was our Fred. That's who he was. No ego, never arrogant or braggadocious. I was so impressed by his contacts in the industry and the relationships he had with the people who manage our fisheries. No one will ever fill his waders. My Wednesdays will never be the same producing the weekly video fishing forecast.
Just a quick reminder that the Montauk Surf Fishing Classic is this weekend. It starts at noon on Friday and goes through noon on Sunday. The registration deadline is Saturday at 9 a.m. at Polly's Tackle Shop in Montauk, which is the way station through the event as well.
All right, let's quickly check the weekend forecast and see what we got going on. And the overview says water temps have been in the 70s, kind of staying steady there. Wave height Saturday, looking at 2 to 4s, not too bad overall. Light northwest breeze, shouldn't be bad whatsoever in terms of the ocean. A little lumpier on Sunday, perhaps, more of a westerly breeze, especially east of Fire Island. Light northwest, 5 to 15, settling down Saturday afternoon. And then we get more of a westerly on Sunday. It looks like it's going to be a little choppier, maybe about 10 to 20, especially across the east end. So anywhere east of Fire Island looks a little bit lumpy. High tides early afternoon North Shore on Saturday, late morning South Shore. Temps 70s both days, Saturday, Sunday looking good. Check the Guru quickly. There's Saturday, nice light breeze, very comfortable day, looks nice. A little more of a westerly gust there on Sunday, but seas don't look too bad. So that's the weekend forecast. Enjoy. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe.
Also remember that the second annual Women's Fishing Expo is being held at Connecticut State Park this Saturday from 10 to 2 p.m. Call 631-444-0283 for more information.
Greetings, everybody. Well, this week it's with heavy heart that I'd like to extend my deepest sympathy and gratitude to the family of Fred Golofaro, who passed away last week. I always remember Fred from his reports and his articles with the Fisherman, and for years I was really in awe by reading and seeing those articles. I finally got a chance to meet him in person this year at the Manhattan Cup when he won his Lifetime Achievement Award, and he was just a really straightforward, special person who was very supportive, had nothing but words of encouragement, and was there right away from the minute I met him to share any knowledge and support that he had. He's definitely going to be sorely missed. He was a huge contributor to this publication, and when you're out there fishing, just take a few moments and remember Fred and look out to the sea and make a cast for him. I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
For those that like to fluke fish, this is the last bell. Remember that the season will be closing on the 30th, so get those final drifts in this weekend because the fishing has actually been pretty good. All South Shore bays have had great action around the inlets, and Montauk is seeing a good bite of fish on the grounds as well, just south to the point, with some real trophies coming up onto the decks.
Like everybody, I was devastated to hear about Fred's passing last week. When I first met Fred, what struck me with him, obviously, was his soft-spoken nature and that smile of his, but was just how he treated everybody the same. I had zero clue about fishing other than I wanted to do it a lot more. And he treated me the same as if he was talking to a charter captain or some badass surfcaster out of Montauk, and obviously neither one of the two. Back in June at the Manhattan Cup, it was beyond amazing to see Fred get awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award. And, for a guy that always praised other people and their achievements as they started to figure things out more and more with fishing, like whenever I would run into him and tell him, it was great for him to be the guy that everybody was just showering with their gratitude and respect. And just a really, really tough loss, obviously. Brilliant writer, brilliant man, so generous with his knowledge. Got the fall run coming up. Perfect opportunity to toast his memory and just catch a ton of fish. So rest easy, Fred. We love you.
I had a terrific time this week. I actually took 2 sports out on Wednesday and Thursday. They caught fish. We had a great time. And then I got home to my shop and I went on my computer and I saw Mike's sad video with the passing of Fred. Fred and I go a long way. He actually got me more interested in fly fishing. I actually am fishing. I went to his first surf seminar that the Fisherman ever put on, and he turned me on so much that I went out and bought a surf rod right away. Many shows, I'd be tying flies. Fred would be his booth would be next to me, and we'd be talking, and we always made plans. Yeah, let's we got to go fishing together. I gave him some flies. He went to Florida. He called me up. He said how great they were. He had a terrific time. But again, we never went fishing. Now, as far as the report for Long Island goes, there again, I've been guiding a lot out to Connecticut. I had 2 newbies last week. This past Sunday, I had a family out there, never touched a fly rod. They had many fish. In fact, they caught one of the largest rainbows I've ever seen in that river. It was a great time. Saltwater, I did a shop trip out on Tuesday night. We went to the Jones Beach area. Little bluefish, about 2-pounders. But there are a lot of guys that never caught anything on a fly rod, and they had action. So they were thrilled. But as far as it goes, you know, it's just the start of the full season. Get out there where you can. Now, my tip for you is, when you make plans with somebody, keep them. You never know what's tomorrow going to bring. Rest in peace, Fred. Tie lines, everybody.
On the surf scene, I personally witnessed a massive school of spinner sharks blitzing on bunker and bluefish along the south shore, a little out of reach. One angler sent me a picture, though, of one he caught on a pencil popper. The fish nearly spooled him, but with the proper drag, he won the battle and released the shark safely. I've also been getting my last licks in on the fluke season, but from the surf. With a 7-foot rod, reel loaded with 10-pound braid, and some jigs tipped with gulp, I've been working the troughs along the beach and landing a lot of flatties, with a couple of keepers mixed in too. High tides are key to this.
Hey everybody, before I really get into fishing, I just want to talk to you about Fred. I'm sure by now everyone realizes what a legend Fred actually was when it came to fishing. There's not too many people on Long Island that fish that don't know who he is, and there's good reason. He was a very incredible, kind person. For myself, he had a huge impact on my life. I have dyslexia, so I have a lot of trouble sometimes reading and writing. And if we go way back to 2014, I still have the magazine. The first time, my name was ever in print. I did the offshore reports for the Fisherman for a few years. And Fred gave me a lot of confidence in myself. I've gone on to write, for national magazines. I've done a lot of articles for the Fisherman. Even some of my photos have been published on covers of magazines, and that's all because of Fred. How much he taught me and everything. He's taught so many people about fishing. He's kind. He was just a good person. It's the only way I can explain. When I talk about him, I think that's how we all generalize and say he was a good person. And I'm very happy that this year I did get to fish with him. It was early in the year. Myself, Matt, and Mike Caruso. I'll never forget Fred on that trip actually swallowed a barrel swivel. So that was quite interesting. But Freddie, you're going to be severely missed. I miss you. I hope your family's doing okay. And, as far as fishing, I almost don't even want to discuss it, but let's be realistic. This is Fred fishing. This is what he did. And if you get a chance, get out in the bay on Saturday. I'm fishing weak fish in the back bays. There's weak fish there, but also surprisingly, there's a lot of fluke there. So it's a good day to get out there, catch some fish. And Saturday, though, the weather looks pretty nice. I'm hoping to chase, some of those big mahi again. So I'll talk to you next week.
Captain Lorenzetti here, Fire Island Report. Well, it's kind of a sad week. I was totally shocked and saddened to hear of the news of Fred Golofaro's passing. And I just don't know what to say. I mean, I know the man for almost 40 years. We did a lot of things together for the Fisherman. We did a lot of seminars together. Fred was a true professional and a super nice human being. And I just love the guy, and it's just really, really sad. My condolences and prayers to his family, and rest in peace, Fred. All right, fishing news, a lot of nice fluke around Fire Island. Had 3 nice big keepers yesterday, and the crazy giant tuna thing going on down the Rockaways is still happening. So if you get out there on the ocean, get out there. Sunday looks like it might be the day to do it. So that's all for this week.
This week's fishing report is focused more on our tribute to Fred Golofaro. His tragic loss to the fishing community last week. Really, it was a tough blow, and we have nothing but wonderful things to think and memories to have about Fred. Fred made everybody feel really special. I try to be like him. I think about meeting Fred for the first time, and I was a nobody. I didn't own a tackle shop or anything. It was at one of the fall shows. And he would just sit there and speak with you. And through the years, over a decade now, as professionally working with Fred, he was nothing but endless amount of advice and great conversation. You know, I'll really miss those rainy days on Sunday. The shop would be quiet, it would be early, and Fred would call for the surf report, and we would talk for a long time about what was happening all over the island. You know, Fred knew a lot of people, he was loved by a lot. He was controversial at times with his stands on the fishing community, but the guy was nothing but a soft-spoken, quiet storm. And you know, we love you, Fred. We're gonna miss you, and tight lines and peace for you, my friend, and especially for your family.
What's up, fishermen and fisherman family? So this week's a tough one for all the fisherman crew, and actually to all Long Islanders, actually, to be honest with you. And we all know that Fred Golofaro had passed away, and Fred touched so many people in this fishing community, and you could see by the outpouring on Facebook, on Instagram, all the people writing, you know, and the condolences and everything. And Fred was a special kind of guy. He really was a very soft-spoken, big guy, but very soft-spoken, and was always there to help everybody. It didn't matter who you were, what color you were. It did not matter. Just Fred talked fishing, and that was it. And you would go to the shows, and you would see people actually just wait online, you know, say the New York Boat Show or any of these Freeport shows. There would actually be people waiting just to speak to Fred. And sometimes they'd be sitting there 15, 20 minutes waiting. You know, that's the kind of guy that Fred was, a real great guy, always out to help people. So it's a tremendous loss for the fishermen, all us fishermen, and also Long Island itself, because Fred was Long Island, you know. But just sad, very sad news. Again, our deepest condolences to him, your family, and we're gonna miss you, Fred, man. We really love you a lot. You were a great guy to all of us. And one story I can just remember real quick, and I'll just share it with you guys, is when I took my son out, probably about 4 years ago maybe, and we got this like big 44.5-pound striper or something like that. So I wrote to Fred. I said, "Hey, Fred, I got this, you know, this cool picture of me and my son, and he caught this nice stripers. I said, is there anything you can do for me? I'd really like to have it for a memory. You know, it was pretty awesome." And Frankie at the time was probably 3 years old maybe. Without questioning, nothing. He didn't say a word. He said, "No problem, Joe. Done. Taken care of." And it was on the cover like a week or 2 weeks later. You know, and that meant so much to me because we actually have that picture now framed in our house, and it's a memory that we're going to have forever. And it was thanks to Fred that, you know, that was done. So, again, he was a great guy. He will definitely be missed, and the fishing community took a major hit. It's actually even weird even talking about fishing reports right now, but real quick, sorry, I got a little teary-eyed there. I miss you, Fred. But on the reports, so the bluefin tuna, obviously we know, is still going off. You know, there's plenty of tuna to be had out there still. You know, little Chris was out there, and a young guy, it's funny how we all grow. You know, Chris is a very young kid. He's probably 17, 8 years old, and I took him out a couple of times. He's out there doing it. So he went out there, and 2 for 3. He connected with the tuna 2 times out of 3 times. And it's pretty awesome seeing a young guy get out there doing it with a bunch of young guys in a boat. And he's definitely making his dad proud as well. On the local reefs, the sea bass, the porgies, the triggerfish are still around. Ralph was out on the shoebox, and he had some nice sea bass, a couple fluke, and they also had a mahi swim up behind the boat that they pitched a bait to. Probably like a 10-pound mahi, which is awesome. So congratulations, Ralph, on that one as well. The bridges are holding some fish now. There's bass in the bay. The back bays are coming alive. So your typical fall patterns. The bunker everywhere. You could cast net those peanuts, take those at nighttime, cast them under the dock lights, and connect with stripers. But that's basically it for my report. Sorry, I really don't have more to say. Just, my mind's elsewhere right now. But again, Fred, we're going to miss you, buddy. We all love you. And that's my report.
Well, guys, Mike Sentry here for Anglers of Legend Sportfish. Throughout the years, you've seen me and others, anglers and captains, contribute to the Fisherman magazine. And this year, well, we had a great event with the Manhattan Cup. Got to sit down next to Fred Golofaro one more time and take part in him receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award for his contribution to this fantastic sport that we all are addicted to. Backtrack a few years ago, I met Fred Golofaro in Long Island for the first time. It was at a flea market they were having. It was mid-January, super cold day. Traffic took us almost 3 hours to get there from Jersey. And I gotta say, he gave me the raw treatment. Bypassed several hundred people at the line, sat next to him, and share some thoughts about the fishing industry. And I also expressed my concern with wanting to open up a charter business. And knowing him and all the people that he does know, he gave me some advice, and I never forget this. He said, on slow days, what you're gonna have, Take care of your customers. If they really want to hook into something, get them on bluefish, get them on stripers, get them on porgies, get them on fluke, get them on anything that's biting out there. Even if it's snag and bunker, get them hooked up on something. Anything to make the day go by more enjoyable for them. And when it's really slow, teach them what you do know, how you do it, why you do it, the lures you use, what not to use, the time of seasons, and what works best for you. If they don't catch on nothing, give them the knowledge, and hopefully they're going to retain it and become better fishermen in the future. He said, plain and simple, stuff like that works. And guess what? I opened up my little charter business. Been doing pretty good with it. I love the camaraderie. I love the fisherman stories I get to listen to. It's Anglers of Legends for a reason, because we all got to this point somehow, somewhere, and I'm always interested in learning about people's past and where they're going and what sets them on the right path and what gets them motivated. So with the customers on board, great stories were always had. And I got to meet Fred again at the 2021 Manhattan Cup this year. What an amazing event that was. Absolutely mind-blowing. Between the veterans, the laughter, the jokes, some of the solemn, moments, the Raguso family right here. My goodness, that was powerful right there. Also seeing Fred Golofaro receive the Lifetime Achievement Award, yes, this year, 2021. That was definitely a good moment to see. Fred almost had the whole area in tears. If Frank didn't stop him, there would have been a lot of allergies in that place. Still got that on video. Amazing day. I can't wait for 2022, and I'm sure there's going to be a big tribute to the big Fred Golofaro. Last touch, did manage to catch a 255-pound bluefin tuna right in my backyard. One of my big long-time goals. Catch something that big back here, just a few miles off the coast. 72.5 inches. Fish for me, and my client's first bluefin, which is amazing. Always putting people on record fish. Also, this fish had 3 tags. One from Spain, one from Japan, go figure that out, and a GPS tracking tag with a camera. So I cannot wait to see the history of this fish. Well, guys, back to you, Matt. And if anybody wants anything, call me, Facebook me, Instagram me. Some conversation about fishing, charters, whatever you need help with, hit me up. I'll help you out. Back to you, Matt.
Remember to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post a new video on YouTube. And of course, if you're a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine to be part of the Dreamboat Contest and Coastal Kayak Clash. Check out this video's description on YouTube for all the related links and index for specific reports. Please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and social media pages. See you right here next week at thefisherman.com. And please, for me, keep Fred's legacy alive in the years to come. He did so much for the sport that we all enjoy so much.